Why would you leave such a great job? When are you going to get promoted to account executive? Do you know how many people would kill for that position? These are the questions that I got when I walked away from my $250,000 per year software sales job. Now, honestly, a few years ago, I would have thought the exact same thing. I mean, who walks away from that kind of money, right? But after learning these 3 crucial lessons about success, money, and time, I realized I couldn't stay a single day longer. I left the cushy office, the title, everything that society tells you to chase. And you know what? It was the best decision I've ever made. This isn't just my story, it could be yours too. Because by the end of this video, you might be thinking differently about your own path. You're gonna see exactly how I transformed my life, and more importantly, how you can write your own freedom story. Let me take you back to where it all started. 2017, I was fresh out of college, walking into a high-rise building in the middle of downtown Salt Lake City. I got a job at one of the most prestigious software companies in the city, and I remember thinking that I made it. And for a while, it really seemed that way. I made over $66,000 on a single commission check, and I was living the dream. After I got that commission check, I looked at Google, and I found that at the time that the average household income was around $61,000. And there I was, making more money in an entire year from a single commission check. I felt like I was on top of the world. I became the top performer on my team, making multiple 6 figures, and even got promoted, though funny enough, it took me 3 tries. As time went on, the initial excitement and sense of achievement began to fade. Every Sunday night, a familiar dread would creep in, signaling the start of another long week at the office. My coworkers would literally count down the hours until Friday. I remember this one Friday where you could feel the excitement in the office about it being Friday. People brought in donuts, taking it easy, and there was just a happiness in the air that could be felt. And this sounds great and all, right? And I was supposed to be one of the lucky ones, making $250,000 per year, crushing my targets, and getting recognition, yet something felt deeply wrong. As I reflected on my own path, I realized I was falling into a familiar pattern, one that I had seen before, and it was the pattern that I was repeating. Growing up, I witnessed firsthand the hard work and dedication of my immigrant parents. They immigrated from South Korea in 1985, and back then, Korea was basically a third world country. They came here with nothing, no money, no English, no connections. In fact, they opened a t-shirt store and restaurants, worked 14 to 16-hour days, and they just took a couple of days off each summer. That was it. I remember being a kid, playing baseball, and looking into the stands during my games. And almost every other kid had their parents there cheering them on. But my parents, they were stuck at work trying to provide for our family. Now here I was 20 years later, living in my parents' basement with my wife, despite making 6 figures, missing dinners, staying late at the office. And I remember this one night in December where I was scrambling going into the Q4 sprint, being on meetings, responding to emails, and closing deals. I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Jingle All the Way in the opening scene working on Christmas Eve. I checked my phone and realized the time and date. It was me and my wife's anniversary, and it completely slipped my mind. I was too busy to make any plans for us. And that's when it hit me, my first crucial lesson. And that's playing it safe is often the riskiest choice. Looking at my life, I realized something that hit me like a ton of bricks. What we call playing it safe is often the riskiest choice of all. I was trading my most precious asset, which is my time, for the illusion of security. Sure, I had the salary, the title, and the prestige, but I was just repeating my parents' pattern with a bigger paycheck. And that's when I started really listening to my cousin. He'd been telling me about real estate investing for years. At first, I thought he was crazy. He was talking about leveraging debt and buying properties. And remember, I was raised thinking that all debt was bad. Save everything, play it safe, and don't take risks. I remember sitting down with him at his house one day. He pulled out a piece of paper and he started going through all the numbers to make it make sense. Now, my mind was blown. At first, not in a good way, I was overwhelmed. How could anyone become a millionaire being in debt or making a couple $100 per month? As I started to get more into the subject through podcasts, videos, seminars, and talking to him, it started to make more and more sense. December 2018 is when I decided to take action. I created alerts on my phone for fourplex properties in my area. Now, I had one pop up right before I went to bed. I texted my real estate agent and asked her if I could see it during my lunch break the next day. The property was about 40 minutes from my office, so I sped down there and walked through it. It was a fourplex for $380,000. And so I used an owner-occupied loan with just $25,000 down, lived in one unit, and rented out the others. When I was talking to my colleagues about it, they thought I had lost my mind. Why would someone making $250,000 per year choose to live like that? But within 1.5 years, that property had built up $200,000 in equity, and that's when I discovered my second crucial lesson. And that lesson was high income doesn't equal true wealth. I realized that making money and building wealth are completely different things. My salary was buying things, my real estate income was buying my freedom. Once this clicked, everything changed. I became obsessed with finding deals. I started door knocking neighborhoods, talking to homeowners directly. Most people thought I was lost when I knocked on the doors. There's a software sales guy walking around neighborhoods on the weekends. But each no brought me closer to a yes. Deal by deal, the portfolio grew. I was out there building relationships with hard money lenders, and it changed everything. Now I can move fast when I found good deals. The BRRRR strategy became my blueprint. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. And within 2.5 years, I had 40 units generating $72,000 in annual passive income, all while working my corporate job. I'd be on sales calls during the day, and then I was reviewing deals and renovating properties during lunch breaks and after hours. And I kept the momentum going. And none of this would have happened if I stayed in that dream job that everyone would kill for. Sometimes the biggest risk isn't taking action, it's staying comfortable. Now, during all this, me and my wife would walk through these nice neighborhoods, dreaming about our future home. She pointed at houses saying, "That's my dream house." And I would tell her, "One day I'll buy you that." Everyone said it would take 7 to 10 years. My wife even said, even if it takes us 15 years, that would be great. But something inside me rebelled against that timeline. That led me to my third crucial lesson. And that lesson was we've been taught to think too small about time. We bought that dream house in 8 months and not 10 years. This wasn't just about buying a house. It was about realizing realizing that everything we believe about time and success might be wrong. Despite achieving my dream of buying that house in just 8 months, I found myself at a crossroads. I was still making $250,000 per year in my corporate job, and my real estate was now generating $72,000 in passive income. On paper, I had it all, the prestigious job, and now the dream house and the side income. But that baseball memory kept coming back to me, that little boy searching the empty stands for his parents. Now I had a choice. I could keep building wealth while being golden handcuffed to my corporate job, or I could choose a different path. The only would have played it safe, but I remember my dad's 1 day off per year, and I made a decision that changed everything. That decision transformed everything beyond what I could have imagined. Today, I built what society would call success. Over $50 million in real estate, 7 Airbnbs generating $400,000 per year in net cash flow, an 8-figure stock and crypto portfolio, multiple businesses, and both financial and time freedom. But those aren't the numbers that matter the most. What really counts is being there for every moment that matters, never taking permission for vacation, controlling my own schedule, and living life on my terms. I didn't just build wealth, I built the freedom to write my own story, and that's worth way more than any number on a balance sheet. Now, this journey isn't always smooth sailing. Running multiple businesses comes with real challenges. Every decision I make affects not just my family, but the families of everyone who trusts and works with me. But these challenges feel different because now I'm building something for myself, for my family, and for my future. And I also learned this: the regret of not trying is worse than the fear of failing. Now, do you remember those 3 lessons that changed everything for me? First, playing it safe is often the riskiest choice. Second, high income doesn't equal true wealth. And number 3, we've been taught to think too small about time. Now it's your turn to write your own freedom story. I want you to pause this video right now, grab your phone, open your notes, and answer these questions honestly. When was the last time you felt truly free? What moments are you missing in your life right now? And what would you do tomorrow if time wasn't traded for money? I want you to really look at your answers and ask yourself, is whether you can afford to stay at a job that's buying your time instead of buying your freedom. If the story resonated with you, you might be closer to financial freedom than you think. I just made a video breaking down the 5 signs you're secretly winning with money. I'll have a link up right here. You can watch it to see if you're already on the path of freedom without realizing it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this. We're going to post videos every single week. And remember, your time is the only wealth that truly matters.